Hi, hey, and all those other greetings, Spade Adventurers. I'm Jakesmans, welcoming you guys back to my gaming and unboxing channel, where today it's really warm outside. Not gonna lie. But to be fair, it's summer. I mean, it didn't feel like it a few weeks ago when it was just going back and forth from, cold to snow to rain to a little bit of heat and then back to cold and then, steadily waving off. And then now we're getting into a warmer streak. So, I mean, in general, that's nice because summer's supposed to be nice and warm and, the rays of the sun going all the way down on all of us and just making us feel warm. But, I'm somebody who likes colder weather. Don't get me wrong, I like summer. There's a lot of positives about summer. But, I don't know, I think maybe I should do something to kind of like cool off, Because it's just so warm. What would be a good thing? I know, maybe like going to a pool or like a beach, having a nice little like beach vacation type thing. All right, well, I've got some like towels at home. I've got, swim trunks. That's important because gotta be decent. You can't just go to a beach in my pajamas. That doesn't make sense. Let's see. Should I bring anything else? Well, I guess some entertainment because you can swim around and cool off and stuff. But eventually you'll get bored or paranoid about sharks or something stupid. All right. Well, I guess I should just order something like a volleyball off Amazon. All right. Well, let me just do that really quick and hope for the best. Let's see here, I just gotta wait for it to load, and volleyball. Alright, here we go, and perfect. Alright, just going to order that. Cool, and thanks to great shipping time, we should be getting it soon. Oh, okay. It looks like a volleyball did just drop out of thin air, which is pretty cool. This is not a volleyball. What? This isn't what I ordered. What? Let me just check the. Whoa. All right, that's ominous and brings a lot of atmosphere. All right, well, okay, I guess we're not going to the beach today, but we can talk about this beauty, and it looks like it's a chain chomp, I guess, a good tennis-playing Mario dog is better than a volleyball, so, take that into a great account. So, originally appearing inside of Mario Brothers 3, we have Chain Chomp, which first appeared in, World 2 Level 5, I think. Yes, I googled that, because, I googled a lot of things. But ever since Mario Brothers 3, Chain Chomp has become an insanely cool staple to the Mario enemy franchise, and has been in quite a lot of stuff. You have your common stuff like Goomba and Koopa Troopa and, all of these Mario enemies, you name them, a lot of people will know them, and sure, there will be a few here and there, like maybe Magic Koopa or Spike, that people might not know, but Chain Chomp is in that category of Goomba and Koopa Troopa. Sure, it wasn't the first ever Mario game, but it's in so many other things. Ever since Mario Brothers 3, you had it in other enemy type of roles. You had the Chomp Rock from Yoshi's Island. You had this guy as an obstacle in things like Mario Baseball and Wario's Stadium. And then you even had points like Mario Tennis Aces. Yes, this guy can play tennis. Does he have arms? No. Does he have feet? No. But he's got a killer freaking jaw. And let me tell you, that jaw, it can play some mean tennis. Like, he can just zip across the whole entire court. It's ridiculous. And of course, there is countless amount of games that him and Chomp Rocks are in. You even use Chomp Rocks in Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, I want to say, to defeat one of the bosses. And it's just really insane. Granted, this character is generally more so a hazard than an enemy. However, of course, in its many game appearances, we cannot forget Mario's first 3D adventure being Mario 64. Most enemies that were in, very retro, very iconic, who also appear in Mario 64, a lot of people know, and this guy, people know. Which is kind of funny considering, even though, yes, he is a part of Bowser's Arsenal, and yes, he is great and adorable, much like Boo, his design is super simple. Boo is just this white ghost that's like, ooh, I'm scary. Ah. And then Chain Chomp is just, very similar, except even less detailed than Boo, because Boo, you have Plush of him, you have the tongue, you have the angry eyes, you have the teeth, you have, it's Ghost. Chain Chomp is basically, you take an iron ball, I think it's like a discus, that's what it's called, one of those things they just like flail around. Yeah, it's a sentient discus, basically. And it's just metal ball with teeth and eyes and a chain, and yet it's one of the most enduring, most terrifying creatures in the Mario universe, which at the same time also makes a lot of sense since Miyamoto ended up creating this as a way to show his fear of dogs, which is interesting. And yet, I still find this guy a good boy. So let's open up our volleyball. Yeah, that's right, random Amazon seller. You're not getting a great review. Well, on your volleyball. On your Chain Chomp, who knows? Maybe. We'll see. So let's open this guy up. Alright, here we go, guys. Here is our volleyball. Yeah, every time I'm gonna do that, totally. But looking at Chain Chomp, the fabric on him, first off, we have the main fabric, which is actually a very, very nice and soft type of fabric, which is generally used in the Cine Little Buddy type of plush, which this makes a lot of sense. As I mentioned in my Pikmin unboxing, you have a character that does not have a lot of detail, and you don't have to worry about a lot of things for quality control. There's a few things here and there, but that means that you can use a lot more quality type of materials for these plush because you just don't have that much there. Generally, despite this though, you have the main body's fabric. You also have this hard eye embroidered type of fabric for the eye, which looks really great and really cool. It does give off that nice metallic feel. Granted, if we weren't going for a soft plush type of material or, look, I would kind of prefer the main body to be something a little bit shinier, When you rub your hand on it, you're like, oh, that feels weird. It feels like the material's kind of like sweaty, like a summer type of feeling, I guess. Looping it back to the original topics. But generally, yes, you'd want that type of thing. But I feel like in later games, they just have this more like darker blue plasticky color than they do metal. So it's not that big of a deal, and honestly, I'd prefer this over Atmosphere and the illusion of you know, this is metal, when in reality it's just, you know, this plush orb that is supposed to be cute. But I'm going back to the eyes. You have the white part that is embroidered. You also have the black part, which is embroidered. Nice look to it. Again, there's not a lot to worry about. So if you mess something as simple as 3 circles that are right here and just need to be at the side of the face, that's pretty sad. Now, one thing that I do find cool is they could have gone the Boo route and they could have had the mouth open, having, you know, flat fabric teeth, which sure would have been pretty cool, would have shown the extra mile, but then you would have needed the tongue, you would have needed the insides, and it's just not practical in making a plush, especially one like this. So instead, they went for this type of fabric, which is actually a different fabric. Feels like that semi-type of fabric in between a pillow and the little stuffing inside, which if you have a dog, you might know what that looks like, because our dog for the longest time was just obsessed with pillows and stuffing, and it's a miracle that any of my plush survived, because the one time we did find him with my blue toad plush, and that was terrifying, but he just wanted to like hold it and just carry it around the house. So, you know, in retrospect it was cute, but also very terrifying for new Soup Toad. But anyway, though, back to the chain chomp teeth. They have this this pillowy fabric which has these little black stitchings in between, which it actually looks a lot like the chain chomp teeth. I'm very impressed at how simple yet effective this technique actually is. You don't see the gum mark, which makes sense because chain chomps don't have gums, but you can see that third dimensional, wow, that's a really weird way to phrase that, you know, very formal way, Spins. But you have this very 3D effect on something that is literally just a strip of white fabric with just these black stitch lines in it, and it looks flawless. It looks very seamless. Of course, though, that is not the only part of the chain chomp. Another part of the chain chomp is the chain itself, which I think it's pretty cool that they did this. Now, of course, there's 2 different types of chain chomps in the very basic form. Essentially, the chain chomps that are chained to a post, which act differently in the 2D games, and the 3D games. Essentially, in the first ever Mario Brothers, if you waited a certain amount of times for it to pull, it would jump off of the chain, and it would actually just bounce off the screen and could still hurt you. It was some stupid amount, like 46 times. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen in editing. But of course, in Mario 3, you didn't have ground pounding, whereas in other games like New Soup or Mario Maker, you actually do. So you can let them loose by a ground pound, and when you do that, they just kind of, you know, they arc like this, you know, give in their nice bargain. They're arf 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 arf. I don't know why this just seems cute. It's mesmerizing to me. It's almost like it's swimming, but it's not. It's great. But anyway, though, back to the chain itself. So they could have very easily put this on a post, but it would have looked weird. So instead, they went just the normal chain route. Interestingly enough, I am going to break the whole joke fourth wall type thing right now, but the chain on the listing was shiny. Here it's not, and I think that's a really weird type of thing, and I'm hoping that's nothing to really worry about. But at the same time, this makes a lot more sense to Sine and Little Buddy's standards than that, you know, that shiny gray material that probably is just gonna wear down if you're not very careful. But here is the last type of fabric, which is like the 4th kind of fabric that they used in this. And again, like I've said for many other plush, Pikmin, Wiggler, there's not a lot they have to do here, so it's pretty cool that they're still going the extra mile and using more than just the fabrics that they actually need. They didn't need to do this. Heck, they didn't even need to really put this chain on here, but they still did. The way they did this, of course, is having this little, kind of looks like a shower plug right here on the back of the chain chomp, which I'm kind of wondering, I guess, oh, this is like its tail. It's a leash and a tail. It only took me 20 years, but I finally understand how chain chomp anatomy works. This makes a lot more sense now. But it does make me wonder if they have feeling in this, in this chain, you know? I don't know, this is a Meta Knight thumb conversation all over again. But the way they ended up doing this is they had kind of like a Sonic Toy Network buckle design, where the first one is halfway into this, and then they actually just have a line, instead of having a 3D chain, which this is super, super smart, because had they done the other one, it would have looked great, but it might have been a really frail design. Granted, this is not really that sturdy in general, in my opinion, but quality control, again, just looks a lot better, probably. But you have these thin lines going to another full buckle here, and it just continues on until it abruptly ends, which this is pretty much where the peg would be. I'm also pretty sure this is pretty much how many buckles would actually be in the chain, so it makes even more sense. Now, of course, I do want to mention this like little hanger on the plush, because this is supposed to be in stores, but because I ended up ordering it off of Amazon, it still has it, even though it doesn't need it, which is kind of funny, but I can't cut it off because my brain's telling me, hey, it wouldn't be the full plush without this stupid hanger. I know it bothers me, but hey, that's just what I have to live with as a collector. But anyway, though, here is the tag, and yeah, that is my volleyball. Hang on, volleyball. I could do it. Double air quotes, guys, as I'm throwing this up. I think I did it somewhere in there. I don't know. Let me know. Cast your votes in the comments. Did I do the air quotes as my volleyball was in the air? Let me know, because I'm curious. I'm sure I'll figure it out in editing. I had to have at least done it once, right? Right? Just from logic, I did it a good few times just for good measure. But anyway, though, guys, if you enjoyed my video with Chomp Boy, then make sure to hit that like button and share this out with everybody you know and love. And guys, it's time to take Chomp Boy on a walk. So, see you guys later. Keep it safe. Arf, 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 arf. Marshmallow bacon. Arf. Arf, arf. Kind of looks like the Chomp whistle in Mario Party 4. Which, funny that I didn't think about this, because that was my first experience with chain chomps at all. I never bought the item, but if you did buy it, it worked as a whistle that you could just move the star with in that Mario Party game. You also can steal stars in other Mario Party games. You know, he's kind of ruthless while being cute. It's like that tough guy you don't want to mess with, but he's got a big heart anyway. And he's an athlete, so, you know, he probably makes a decent amount of money. I don't know. I really don't know how much tennis players make, though. So, yeah. But anyway, though, guys, before we get into Chain Chomp's Mario Tennis net worth, which, of course, he's the best player because it's a chain chomp playing tennis. Yeah. I'll see you guys later, and I'll find a different way to cool off because, dang, Amazon volleyball listing. Alright. Bye, guys.